Are Germans in love with the rules? That is one of those things that gets said quite a lot, and it is true that many foreigners who come here do get the impression that there are rules for absolutely everything. Don't jaywalk even if there's no traffic. No noise after 10 p.m. Paper goes in the blue bins, plastic in the yellow sacks. Is this accurate or fair? Is it true that I had to fill out an online video publishing permit application just to make this video? The first thing to say is that not all Germans love all rules. For example, cyclists are bound, like everyone else, to obey traffic regulations, and in those traffic regulations are strict rules about where you're allowed to cycle and where you're not allowed to cycle. But many German cyclists are either unaware of these rules or actually find them nonsensical or positively dangerous. And so these rules are quite regularly violated. Jaywalking? Well, it is true that if you do jaywalk, you're likely to be told off by somebody, but it's not as if Germans never do it. In Berlin, it's actually quite common, and I've even seen a uniformed police officer do it. On the basis of that, I would say that Germans are quite happy with rules that make sense to them, but will, if they think they can get away with it, ignore those that don't. The impression of a rule-bound society is probably due to the fact that many of these rules apply to everyday life, so you're bound to come into contact with them in some form or other. On the other hand, many of these rules are surprisingly common sense, basic courtesy written down. Take the no noise after 10 p.m. rule. It's not like if you make a sound after that time the police will come and cart you off to jail. If nobody phones the police to complain, nothing will happen. But in urban areas in particular, Germans tend to live in apartments. And if you're on the early shift and the people in the apartment above you have got drunk and decided to turn the volume up to 11, the law has you covered. The first time the police are called, they'll ask the people to kindly keep the noise down. The second time, they might confiscate the music centre. And within those rules is a surprising amount of freedom. If it's 2 o'clock in the morning and you can't sleep and you decide that going for a run would be just the thing, you can do that. And even if you do meet a couple of police officers on patrol, they'll either ignore you or wish you a good evening. Unless you happen to match the description of a suspect they're looking for, but that would be bad luck. In some places, for example parts of the US, you might be stopped and possibly even searched, especially, so I've been told, if you happen to be black. Not so in Germany. As long as you're not waking up the neighbourhood or trying to pick a lock, nobody will care. And this explains why there are so many stretches of Autobahn with no speed limit. Since German drivers generally understand the reasoning behind other rules governing road safety, they will follow those rules. So if you have a nice, long, straight stretch, why not let them drive as fast as the weather and traffic conditions will allow? So yes, it's probably true that Germans do tend to follow the rules as long as they can see why those rules are in place. But equally, if you stay within those rules, nobody will much care what you do. Since many of the rules are things that any reasonably intelligent, decent, thoughtful and courteous human being would want to do anyway, it's not as hard as you might think. The form. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, why not send me a postcard? Here's the address. Or visit Rewboss.com, follow me on Twitter, subscribe to my blog. It's not like if you make a sound after that time the police will come and oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Take the... Come on. Oh. Take the... Oh, get the message now. Have no speed limit. Oh dear, oh dear.